Wow, now that's what you call good football.
My light is now walking like a me.
Well, ain't it nice to see a familiar face? Welcome to another year of football with Madden NFL 23. Before we get started, go ahead and change up your options, or just stick with what worked for you last year. And don't worry, if you ever feel like switching it up, you can always change things around in settings later. The next level was legend. You gotta have accomplishments. In any league, they considering me dominant. The wrong falls, you know the pit of defeat, bottomless. I was hungry way before I got your support. I hopped off the porch around the time that y'all got awards. Lyrical exercise, this what I call a sport. The fourth bar, brother, when I push the rock off the court. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. Of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. The chattermouse who talent don't average out. If your flow ain't nowhere near this caliber, that don't count. Competition get flattened out. Getting money like I went top 3 in the first round. My salary that amount. They want my style, but that ain't much to be flat about. I take it as a challenge when rappers calling my status out. one of the best, and they ain't my pedigree. You can have the rings, or we did an AI's legacy. I got champion genetics. Next level. One of the best. Remember me. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything. You seen the making of a star, they hear my name and remember me. Just let the record show that I said I'm coming for everything.
Accessibility settings.
Entering settings screen, you have 19 options. Menu narration option is set to off is selected.
Accessibility settings.
Elohim never had time for donuts. The beat gon' have no time for cold cuts. The game like Big Pitch came to join up. Yeah, I'm still independent. They sold 1 million records. Yeah, used to be on my checklist. Big diamonds don't need a necklace. Look, we built the sound like it's double speed Tetris. I cannot build without God in it. We built the sound, you can't copy this. I never brag, it's just confidence. I never rap for your compliments. I wrote this one for the indie grind. If you ain't signed on the dotted line, kept on my soul with no dollar signs. The industry.
This is a special presentation of EA Sports from the Coliseum in Oakland, our tribute to the coach, the John Madden Legacy Game. I'm Brandon Gaudin here to take you through the proceedings, and coming up, we're going to tell the story of a man who is truly larger than life and whose impact on the sport of football certainly is going to live on for decades and decades to come. Now, we've assembled a couple of rosters featuring some of Coach's favorite players from both yesterday and today, and Coach himself will be on the sidelines for both squads, trying to motivate his guys to victory. And I'm joined now by my good friend Charles Davis. CD, your thoughts on John Madden and what he meant to the sport he loves so much?
For me, Brandon, it's the word joy. He brought that to the game of football, brought the game to so many people. He stayed involved his entire life. And moving forward, when you think of football, you're always going to think John Madden.
The Coliseum back to its original 70s glory. What a scene in the East Bay, and we're underway in the John Madden Legacy Game. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. So it's the NFC stars who will get the ball first. And, Charles, as we alluded to, we've got a different era of coach on each sideline. So the man coaching this NFC squad, we'll call him Young John Madden, this is a coach who was trying to establish a foothold in the NFL and on the cusp of doing it very successfully.
Yeah, you think back to that period, those early days as the coach of the Raiders, the late 60s in the AFL and then in the NFL in the early 70s. Coach was a guy who was ahead of his time. The Raiders were one of the first teams to have mini camps, one of the first to film practice, because he wanted to practice coaching as much as he could. And his teams, they were successful right from the start of his head coaching tenure.
They'll throw on first down with Favre. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag is down. This could possibly be a push-off. Looked like some hands both ways. They got it on the offense.
And sometimes there's a fine line between being the receiver and the DB, and he knocked that one away. Might have caused an incompletion that could have been an interception.
A fight for it, and this is caught. What a catch. Give him 32 on the play.
In our pregame meeting, all they talked about was keeping him hemmed in and wanting him to make his throws from the pocket because they knew he was pretty dangerous if he got outside, and he just showed it right there. Pretty good arm, too.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. He's got a man complete. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. So as we mentioned at the top, let's take you through the life of John Madden. And, you know, it's very fitting that we're here back in the Bay Area, not just because John's so associated with Raider football, but also because this was where he spent his formative years.
Yeah, he grew up over in Daly City with his buddy John Robinson, who would also become an NFL head coach. And he played his high school ball at Jefferson High, eventually wound up playing tackle at the University of Oregon, and later Cal Poly San Luis Obispo. Played well enough that in 1958, he was a 21st round draft pick of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's right, the draft had 30 rounds then.
Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the first down on a 13-yard run. From the shotgun, it's Favre. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. Jason Witten from 4 yards out. And the NFC takes it all the way down the field to score on their opening drive.
You got to figure down by the goal line. This is where a tight end earns his money in the high traffic area. And he's able to work free in the middle of the end zone and grabs that one for a touchdown.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. The NFC going to line up and go for 2 here. They'll try and throw for it. And he will get in to make it 8-0. So what do you make of that? You go on the road, you score the opening drive touchdown, opt to go for 2, and all of a sudden they're up 8-0.
Yeah, this wasn't a decision that they made right here and right now. They made this decision during the week. Hey, if we get the ball and score right away, let's show them that we feel like we're superior. Go for 2 and really put the pressure on them.
Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. No run back here for Hall, and this will come out to the 25. So, Charles, as mentioned, we've got another Coach Madden over here on the AFC sideline. Of course, his Raiders, members of the AFC West. So this is a conference he battled in for his entire career. And you think about the landscape of the NFL as he was getting into the back half of his tenure. It was a golden era for coaches. You had Don Shula, Tom Landry, Chuck Noll, Bud Grant. But it was John Madden who had the best winning percentage of them all, CD. 759, the best ever.
Brandon, it's hard to believe he could be so successful in a conference with all those great teams. The Steelers won 4 Super Bowls. The Dolphins won 2 and were a mainstay in the playoffs. The Colts were tough. The Broncos came on late and went to a Super Bowl themselves. But against Hall of Fame coaches, John Madden's record, 36-16-2. That's pretty incredible. Those Raiders were a factor each and every year.
Now a dump off here complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. First carry for the Hall of Famer. It's the boss, Jerome Bettis. And slow going there as he'll only get a yard, maybe, up to the 41. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Brady now to throw. And he cannot get rid of it. The NFC getting in there for the sack. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
On is the Hall of Famer Ray Guy to punt this away on 4th down. Here's Hester. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the NFC will take over 1st and 10. The NFC offense coming out here, and you know, Charles, Coach Madden always said that if he had one drive to win a game and he had to pick a quarterback, he would pick Kenny Stabler. But I think if you asked him to omit any of his Raiders players, there's a good chance the guy he'd select would be Brett Favre.
Brett Favre is always smiling. He's always laughing. He's always talking to someone. He remembers that it's a game. And if it's a game, you should have fun.
And Brandon, that always reminds me of a great movie line where one of the players was telling the coach, every time I say it's a game, you say it's a business. Every time I say it's a business, you say it's a game. With Coach, it was always a game.
Touchdown! A great play there. 51 yards. And the NFC strikes quickly for 6. Well, this has been a flawless start for them. They score, they get the stop, and they score again, Charles.
Complimentary football at its finest. You just mentioned how they got it done. They scored. The defense got the ball back for them. They score again. That's the way you win ball games.
And now a two-point conversion attempt forthcoming. They'll look to throw. And they're going to get it. That one's caught. And now the lead moves to 16-0. I think we're sensing a trend here. 2 first-half touchdowns. After going for 2 after the first score, CD, I thought maybe they would kick the PAT here. No, they get 2 more.
No, they decided to really press the advantage because, remember, getting the 2 after the first score, you've already got the other team back on their heels if they're going to mount a comeback. But to go up 2 scores and 2 two-point conversions, you've really got them thinking on the other sideline.
Following the touchdown, here's Anderson to kick it away. And Hall not going to bring this one out. Ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare.
And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in for the touchdown. Jerry Rice, 75 yards, as his guys are able to push that lead out a bit further. And we didn't even get a chance to settle in for that drive. A quick strike of 75. So following the fumble, this offense will get another shot at it as they quickly head back onto the field. On first down, Favre. Got a man, it's Jerry Rice. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. So this offense will head back out there. They're in excellent field position after the fumble recovery. First and 10, it's Favre. He'll get this complete to Cooper Kupp. A gain of 8 there on the play, and it'll be second and a couple. Charles, you mentioned Coach was a 21st-round draft pick back in 1958. It was the Philadelphia Eagles who selected him. But unfortunately for John, knee problems, they just continued to dog him. He was hurt in his first training camp, actually never saw the field as a player in the NFL. But it was still during his time with the Eagles, you and I were talking about this before going on air, that you could start to see the light bulb going on for what his career path might entail.
And it went on in a big way, didn't it? Because while he was rehabbing his knee, he started to spend a lot of time breaking down film with the Eagles with quarterback Norm Van Brocklin, the future Hall of Famer and future head coach in the NFL. Remember, Norm Van Brocklin coached with the Falcons, he coached with the Vikings. And it's there, during that time, I think Coach Madden realized his love of football and love for teaching, combining all that together, and that meant being a football coach. So in 1960, began his coaching career at a small college south of San Luis Obispo called Allen Hancock, and then later at San Diego State University under another legendary coach, the guy who could throw it around pretty well, Don Coryell. Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
A chance to really put this game out of reach. Here's third and goal. To throw is Favre. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up fourth down here.
They'll try and throw for it with Favre. And that's going to be caught. Touchdown NFC. George Kittle, a 9-yard touchdown grab, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead.
Fourth and goal, and they found a way to throw it in the end zone for a touchdown.
And these defenses, they just like 3 downs, get off the field. But here they had to go 4, couldn't get it done.
A lot of the time, you're looking up and saying, oh.
The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. He'll take the knee in the final couple seconds. We'll tick. Coming up in the second half, we'll run through John's post-coaching triumphs. But for now, we present a special tribute to the man of the hour, narrated by the Raiders' own Trey Mosley.
What comes to mind when you hear the name Madden? Is it the coach who led the Raiders to their first Super Bowl victory? Perhaps it's the broadcaster who entertained millions of fans. Or maybe it's the video game known simply by his name. But no matter what comes to mind when you hear the name Madden, everyone thinks of one thing: football.
The core of it was football. It's the greatest game in the world. The left goes to the right goes to the left.
Madden is on the field. He wants to know if it's real. John Madden goes on the shoulders of his players.
In my mind, John Madden is the most important figure in the history of professional football. Show me somebody else who did it on 3 levels the way John did it. There's nobody.
Boy, Charles, yeah, that is really well done. Coach was something else, wasn't he?
I'm reminded what Al Davis said when he was inducted coach of the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Brandon. He loved the game. He loved his team. He loved the Raiders. He loved this league. And you can see it with everything he does.
No doubt. But it's quite possible, though, that now he would say, hey, enough of that. Let's play some football. The second half forthcoming from Oakland. The AFC offense heading back out. You know, Charles, Coach really loved to utilize his tight ends in the passing game. You think about Dave Casper, Hall of Famer for those great Raider teams. And I think he saw a lot of Dave Casper in an all-Madden staple, Tony Gonzalez.
Tony Gonzalez is the type of tight end I think...
So this offense will head back out there. They're in excellent field position after the fumble recovery. Now Favre. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. 2nd and 10 from the 33-yard line. From the gun, it's Favre. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. So now, Charles, to pick up the story we've been telling, John Madden at 42. He had just completed a 10-year stint as the coach of the Raiders. He wants to step away a bit from the grind of coaching, but he doesn't want to step away from the game of football. So he ends up signing on with CBS in 1979 to try his hand at broadcasting. And much like his coaching career, he was pretty much an instant success.
Partner, he really connected with the people right from the start, and people may not remember he wasn't even on the #1 team in the beginning. He worked his way up. But the same things that made him a great coach made him a great broadcaster.
And this is caught. Touchdown. George Kittle, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the NFC stretching that lead out even a bit further. A familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this 3rd quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it,
ready to begin their next drive here, the NFC offense. The offense coming back out here. Plenty of energy, ready to roll, looking to just add to what they have been doing after scoring a touchdown, Charles, their last time out.
And that's a great feeling to have on the sideline, partner, knowing you just won the battle against the opposing defense. And since they came off the field, I'll guarantee you all they want to do is get back out there because they know they have the upper hand on that defense.
This is caught inside the 15. And touchdown. Jerry Rice, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the NFC just continuing to pour it on. Even though he was full. So the football will be at the 25-yard line as this offense gets set to take over.
Mike 55, Mike 55. Hey, eat. All day, baby, all day.
Hey, guys. What
Throwing is far. He's going to let it go again. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown. Jerry Rice, 75 yards. And the NFC stretching that lead out even a bit further. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that, man. One play, 75 yards in zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down.
Now the offense back out onto the field as they'll take over here in the final minute of this third quarter. Here's Favre to throw. He'll buy some time right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And oh, that nearly their first pick of the game, but it falls down to the ground incomplete. So for Coach Madden, Charles, by 1981, his broadcasting career is really taking off. He's elevated to the network's #1 booth that calls all the big matchups. And he gets the plum assignment of calling Super Bowl 16, 49ers and Bengals, and he's teamed up with Pat Summerall. And that pairing ultimately would go on to be one of the most influential in sports broadcasting history.
Influential not just in us listening to them. Remember, they went on and called 8 Super Bowls together. And how they put together kind of the template that all of us broadcasters follow now. Sitting down with the head coaches and the quarterbacks and the stars of each team before a ball game to get extra information. And the way that those two paired together, Pat Summerall, short, concise, to the point, and turned it over to Coach Madden to fill in all the big details.
Favre on second down, escaping the pressure right. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Javon Curse just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Favre. And they're going to get this up to midfield. As you mentioned, CD, talking about John Madden, the broadcaster, he called 8 Super Bowls with Pat Summerall, 3 more with Al Michaels later in his career. He spent nearly 3 decades in the booth all told. And not only was he beloved for his mannerisms, we know that, but he was an innovator as well.
Yeah, Brandon, you talk about things like the telestrator, which totally became identified with him, and now it's a staple for all analysts to have in the booth. And then you think about things like turducken on Thanksgiving, when he used words like boom and pow. He helped create the All-Madden team. He was a very popular commercial pitch man. And even the Madden Cruiser was unique, and you had to be someone to get a ride on it, too.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. So 2 minutes to play in the John Madden legacy game, and the NFC well in control. And we'll be back to Oakland after this. So it's the NFC with the football as we welcome you back. They've got a second down now as they look to salt this one away. Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete. Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. They're going to look to throw. And able to haul it in is Kittle. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. That one looks like he'll throw here. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Well, when coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all 3 phases. It's been fun to watch. The offense for the NFC ready to get their next drive started. And they've got to be feeling very comfortable and confident here with this lead in the football here in the 4th quarter, Charles. And I don't think that they need to score again, but it seems like this offense is just getting better as the game goes on. They've scored on their last 2 drives.
Certainly feels like a chance for them to continue to have some fun out there, doesn't it? Game's already decided, as you noted. so they can continue to play loose, break out some other concepts, maybe run a few trick plays, get other people involved. Heck, even go deep on one of these first snaps just because they can.
And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. And they take a knee. So it's a win here for the NFC. Just an incredible afternoon of football and remembering the life of John Madden. And before we go, one final message. And for all of us at EA Sports, this one's for you, Coach.
I just say this, I thank you all very much. This has been the sweetest ride of them all.
Time to decide how you're going to make your Madden NFL 23 debut. You could put yourself back on the game's biggest stage and raise that Lombardi in Super Bowl 56. Become coach once again and captain a team of legends and stars to victory in the John Madden Legacy game. Feeling a little rusty on them sticks? Hit the practice field to head on over to the main menu and see the full array of options you've got to work with. At Madden, feeling a little rusty? Head back to the brightest lights of
I'm the real truth. Hunters, real blues, tricks on them still new. Shopping at Dover Street, I'm dripping like mildew. They say you don't visit the hood, dog, I still do. A real one, only difference, my bill's bigger. I'm still with ya, I just got rich a little quicker. The same man, God handed me his game plan. I ain't perfect, far from it, what can I say, man? I feel unstoppable, losing's impossible. Go against the team, the thing they know not to do. Bright lights, game on the line, do what I gotta do. Time after time, we do the impossible. It felt like yesterday, I was just driving my grandma's Chevrolet. From South Carolina to Maryland, I take the jet today. I'm still on the come up, I'm still building my resume. I still got a lot to prove, but still I'm heavyweight. I still gotta watch my moves, they try to defamate my character, but I won't let them, it's always checkmate. I'm still